Hey Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now. And today, I want to get into a fun segment here where I give you 5 of the surprise Philadelphia Eagle camp standouts. The guys who are absolutely dominating in training camp, who maybe I didn't think would be dominating at this point in the 2020 NFL training camp season, because some of these are guys that you would expect, and you go, Thomas, that's a little obvious, not really a surprise, but I'll explain why, because others are people we did not expect at all and have been absolutely fantastic. So let's go ahead and start with Jalen Reagor, right? So Reagor makes the surprise camp standout list. Why? Because he's not just been good. We kind of expected Reagor, first-round draft pick, to be good. He's been fantastic. He's been really, really good. And at a lot of days, all the reports are saying he's been the best wide receiver on the football field. There have been a lot of days where Reagor has caught every single pass thrown at him. He's caught deep balls. He's caught slant routes. Reagor looks like the real deal. And it's a surprise because most rookie wide receivers don't look this good early. It just does not happen early on in an NFL career at the wide receiver spot to come in and be a top 1 or 2 wide receiver for your football team, beating out other people this early on. He's been better than Greg Ward. He's been better than J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. The only player he might not be better than right now at wide receiver is DeSean Jackson, and even that is very, very close. I mean, people keep raving about this guy to the point that I would draft Jalen Reagor in your fantasy football leagues. I mean, we don't talk about fantasy football here, but if you have a later round draft pick, need a wide receiver, I would jump on Jalen Reagor for sure. Like Bleeding Green Nation has a perfect write-up and example of this. So listen to this, quote, Jalen Reagor stood out again today. The rookie got off to a fast start, quite literally, by burning Darius Slay for a deep touchdown reception from Wentz in one-on-ones. I already mentioned Reagor caught a touchdown on a fade throw by Wentz. This wasn't the only contested catch he made. Reagor made multiple short contested grabs with defensive backs draped all over him. I mean, he's making the contested catches, which of course has been a problem for Philadelphia Eagle receivers for many, many years, and he's also beating guys deep. Guys like, the all-pro Darius Slay. Drop me a like if you're excited, if you're as excited as me to watch Jalen Reagor this year. I mean, hit that like button right now because I am absolutely thrilled about this. And some people want to get on here and rip me for saying, on draft night, you weren't very excited about it. And that's true. I mean, you look at the stats and the big playability at TCU really wasn't there. We saw little glimpses of it here and there, but he's proven to be one of those guys that if you have a good quarterback, and Carson Wentz is a good quarterback, throwing him the football, then he can make some serious plays. And he's already shown his progression from a bad TCU offense to a great Eagles offense and how much better he can be using his skills in there. This is a guy who's going to be a top 2, top 3 wide receiver the entire year in the Eagles depth chart. I think they have a future star in their hands. He might not be superstar level. He's going to be very, very good, and to me, that's a surprise right now going into Philadelphia Eagles training camp. Another standout, and I literally just mentioned him, and this one will get some pushback because he shouldn't be a standout, but it's DeSean Jackson. You say, Thomas, why is DeSean Jackson on your surprise standout list? Like, he's been a veteran for a long time. We know he's good. That's not necessarily true. Jackson has struggled with health for the majority of his career and has had a lot of training camps where he's not been able to go out there and dominate day in and day out. The big reason why he's a surprise camp standout because he's been healthy. And he's been healthy, which means he's been able to get on the football field, and the chemistry between him and Carson Wentz has been off the charts good. I mean, incredibly good. The fact that he can be out there every single day, not only mentoring a guy like Jalen Reagor, but also showing everyone just how good he is, has turned a ton of heads. I mean, people are very, very excited about DeSean Jackson this year, more so than what they were last year. I mean, last year, there was some hype, but people weren't really sure because he was getting older and hadn't seen him in a while. He was bad in Washington. No. Jackson just has to stay healthy this year, and if he does, it's an easy 1,000-yard receiving season. I mean, easily a 1,000-yard receiving season for Jackson. Of course, health, like we said, is the problem right now. You go back to the games he's played in the last 5 years, only time he's played more than 13 games was 2016. I mean, last year he played in 2.5, technically 3, but the Bears game was 1 snap. And the rest of these 12, 13, 15, 9, Jackson is an elite receiver, and he's shown that he can still be an elite receiver in the NFL. If he can just stay healthy, that'll be a huge part of the Eagles offense in the Eagles offseason. But right now, he's a surprise standout because he has stayed healthy, and while he's been on the football field, he has been probably the best player on the Eagles offense overall. The fact that it's him and Reagor 1 and 2 right now for the Eagles wide receiver position group is exciting and thrilling, especially when Philadelphia was just terrible at wide receiver as early as a year ago. I think Jackson's going to have 6+ touchdowns. I mean, this could be an 8-touchdown year for DeSean Jackson. Let me know how many of you guys think that he'll have right now in 2020 down below in the comments section. And while you're there, go ahead and pick up a brand new DeSean Jackson's jersey. I mean, we got a ton of Eagle jerseys right now. We've shown these before, but they always are authentic and always are at the best price. Chatsports.com/Eagles jersey. Link is down below in the description box. Okay, another surprise camp standout I think that has to make the list is Jalen Mills. And now you might not be recognizing Mills whenever you watch some training camp highlight videos because he's not wearing number 31 anymore. He's wearing number 21. Of course, the New Jersey swap goes with the new position changes. He's going to take over and fill in the massive shoes left by the departure of Malcolm Jenkins to the Saints this offseason. And I was very skeptical, and I said, man, I mean, they brought in Will Parks. They brought in, they obviously drafted Kayvon Wallace. They did a lot of things to provide backup in case Mills didn't perform well, and yet Mills has been fantastic. I mean, he has completely taken over not only Jenkins' role in the defense, but his role as a leader as well. I mean, this is a guy who might be one of the biggest vocal voices and leaders on the entire defense, and I think he's not only going to obviously win the starting job because he's basically already done that, but we're not going to notice a big drop-off from Malcolm Jenkins. I mean, Jenkins was really, really good, but I think that Mills is a little bit better in coverage just because of the young body and the young legs and the fresh legs. I mean, Jenkins played so much throughout his entire career. I think Mills is not going to be a downgrade at that position. He's been so good in training camp, continues to stand out, and it's important to go ahead and notice that because, listen, he has missed some games as well. It's been, the Eagles, motto essentially for DBs to miss extended periods of time the past couple of years, but I'm not worried about it. He's been a surprise camp standout. He's making interceptions. He's making tackles. This transition from cornerback to safety to me is going to work out very, very well. I was skeptical of it, but so far he's done so well in training camp that we had to mention it, and I think it's going to be just fine there filling in for Malcolm Jenkins. Make sure you guys are subbed, right? You subscribe right now because we're approaching 15,000 subscribers here on what is the best Eagles channel, in my opinion, here on the platform because it's no BS, right? There are no games, no gimmicks. We just go ahead and give you guys the latest Eagle news, in my opinion, on the Eagle news, and then you guys can make with it as you wish and comment down below and subscribe and do all that sort of thing, but hit that sub button for nonstop training camp coverage. How about another surprise camp standout? A guy that I'm very excited about, but not a lot of people apparently are. It's Malik Jackson. And Malik Jackson, of course, was the big offseason addition last year. He gets injured with the torn pec. He misses the entire year. And yet now, he not only is starting because of the Javon Hargrave injury, but has been incredibly productive at the defensive tackle position to the point that you're going to see a lot of him. I mean, you're going to see a lot of him this year, even if Javon Hargrave is healthy and in there. They're going to have to force Malik Jackson to have extra snaps because he's just been that good in training camp. I might be the most excited to see Malik Jackson this year. I'm excited for Slay and Reagor and healthy DeSean Jackson, but I'm very excited for Malik. And Jim Schwartz is too. He told the media the other day, quote, "You can see his excitement. Maybe it would be a little bit different if he had played 17 games last year and went out because he's excited, but he's got also that sort of almost a rookie excitement about being out there every day because he realized how quickly it can be taken away from you." And like we said, with the injury last year, you did not get to see what was formerly one of the better D tackles in the entire National Football League. Fantastic in Denver. He was really good in Jacksonville as well. I think he is going to be really, really good this year. And everything in training camp has basically said, yes, that is exactly what is going to happen with Malik Jackson and Philadelphia. Which player are you guys most excited for? I mentioned Reagor. I mentioned both the Jacksons, Malik and DeSean. Which Eagle player this year are you most excited to watch? Let me know right now in the comment section. All right, final player on this list, and some people are going to be surprised to hear this, but this is great news. Elijah Holyfield has been an extremely quiet yet extremely productive camp player so far. He's probably been the biggest surprise candidate out of them all because, of course, an undrafted free agent. He was signed over from he was with the Panthers, excuse me. Then he got signed last year, kind of towards the end of the season. Was basically a practice squad guy for Philadelphia. But with all the other running backs injured, right? No Miles Sanders, Boston Scott was limited. Corey Clements missed a couple of practices. Holyfield has gotten the most carries and catches out of any running back so far in training camp to the point that this guy is not only making the active roster, he's going to be the fourth running back, but he might even push Corey Clement to be the number 3 running back. He's been great every single day. Elliott Shore Parks from 94 WIP said this about Holyfield yesterday, quote, "Holyfield picked up by the Eagles at the end of last season has more catches and carries than any other running back on the roster. His 38 total touches easily exceed the running back with the second most touches, Corey Clement. Holyfield wasn't asked to catch the ball much in college, but he has caught each of the 15 passes thrown his way in camp. A very encouraging sign for what he could do in this offense if called upon to play. Holyfield seems to have the number 4 running back spot on lock." And so that is great news right now for Philadelphia because there were, Adrian Killings and Michael Warren who's going to make the roster. Looks like it's going to be Holyfield because he has been an absolute stud so far right now in Philadelphia Eagles training camp. So there you go. I wanted to give you guys the list of the 5 guys that have really stood out to me. And some of them are big-time surprises like Holyfield, and some of them are not really surprises because you expect DeSean Jackson to be good, but the fact he's been healthy and out there every single day is the big surprise to me. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. All the time we have for today. We're going to do more of this stuff in the coming days and weeks. I am Thomas Mott for Philadelphia Eagles Now, signing off for the rest of your day.